Welcome everybody, Shabbat Shalom, good morning. Welcome to Junior Congregation. This service is aimed mostly at people like elementary school. If you count as that, then you will have a great time. And if you're a sibling that is in preschool or you're older than middle school or elementary school, I think you'll still have a good time. We're going to sing together. We're going to pray together. I'm Rabbi Adam Bellows, and we're going to begin by singing about how wonderful it is that we are all able to be together as brothers and sisters, as family. We sing Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim, 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov, Yadai, 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 Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov, Yadai, Yadai, Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Okay, I think we're ready to sing some Shabbat songs. We'll do some blessings. I'll read a story. So let's begin with a little Bim Bam. You can't go wrong with Bim Bam. This is my favorite Shabbat song. Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Cheery Beery Beery Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam. Everybody say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Now sing quietly. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Even softer now. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Now let me hear you sing nice and loud. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Okay, I think we're ready to begin our official prayers. We're ready. Everybody stretch because we are ready to pray. We're waking up. This is our song to wake us up. The Baruch Hu is our call to worship. And it's a time for us to say, hey, we're all ready to pray. If you can, I'd like you to please stand up. Wherever you are, stand up. I'm going to remain seated so you can see me. But if you're watching, stand up and see if you can find which way is east, because that is toward what city? Jerusalem in Israel. We face east. And if you don't know which way east is, just like think of Jerusalem as we sing the Baruch Hu together. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Standing and hold up one finger. Hold up one finger. And repeat after me. There is one God. And now take that finger and point that finger right at yourself. There's one me. There's only one God. And there's only one me. There's only one you, 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 only one you. Even if you're sitting with your siblings and you and your siblings are wearing the exact same pajamas, or you are a twin or a triplet, or you have cousins, or you have friends that you are very similar to them, there's only one you. You're unique. And so we sing the Shema, and we think about this, about how grateful we are for our uniqueness and the uniqueness of God. And you can close your eyes if you'd like to focus on this Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. And our thoughts now turn to those who are in our family, in our community, who might be needing some healing of mind, of body, or of spirit. And if you have the name of somebody you'd like to think of, even if you don't know their name, you could think of somebody even if you don't know their name. But I invite you at this time to either say that person's name out loud, or those people's names out loud, or think of them quietly in your hearts and in your minds. And we hope and pray that those people that we've thought of or we've said their name out loud have a speedy recovery and a complete recovery, a refuah shlema, as we join in together, Misha Berach L'cholim, a prayer for the healing of those who are sick. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, who heals the sick, and together we say Amen. Now we're going to take some moments to try to find some quiet space to just close your eyes and just quietly pray and meditate. And you can try doing the oops, gimme, wow method. Oops, gimme, wow. Which is, oops, I'm sorry, God, for something that I've done this past week or recently. Gimme. We say, God, please give me. We don't say like, give me a Xbox or something like that. We say, God, please give me like the strength to continue on doing what I'm doing. Give me the patience to deal with my friends or brothers and sisters. And wow, we say, God, just wow. I'm just so amazed by this world and everything around it. So take some moments and try the oops, gimme wow method quietly. Yehiyu leratzon imre fi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Ali Yehiyu leratzon imre fi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai Go Ali, go Ali. And now I'm going to read you a story. Story time. Everybody snuggle up. Everybody scoot on in. Because we are going to read the story, The Sundown Kid, a Southwestern Shabbat. Hopefully that's not backwards, because it's backwards for me. The Sundown Kid, a Southwestern Shabbat, by Barbara Beets, illustrated by John Kanzler. Papa promised we would build a new life out west, where the wide open spaces were as big as the sky, and the night stars shimmered so bright I could almost reach out, pull one down, and put it in my pocket. Papa said we might be the only Jewish family in our desert town. Mama promised some things would never change. She packed her silver candlesticks, Papa's Kiddush cup, and her big soup pot. There's them moving out southwest. This is like in the, sort of like the Wild West days, maybe like the cowboy days, kind of like that, maybe a little bit later. After the long train ride, Sheriff Ryder greeted us. "Howdy, neighbors," he tipped his hat. "Howdy," I said, and waved back. Our adobe house stood alone on a hill. A giant cactus guarded our front gate, and colorful lizards darted inside and out. Papa nailed a mezuzah on the doorway, making our house a home. It looks like their mama is not exactly liking all the lizards, maybe? All week long, I helped Papa clear space for planting. Mama did our wash in a big metal tub, and I hung the clothes to dry in the sun. I fed carrots to our horse Clara and climbed the biggest tree I could find. I imagined my cousin Izzy playing alongside me. Yippee-ki-yay! I shouted like a real cowboy. There he is up in the tree. On Friday, Mama prepared for Shabbat. We bought flour to make challah from Mr. and Mrs. O'Toole at the general store. Mama made a big pot of chicken soup, chock full of carrots and potatoes, just like always. Papa took off his hat and put on a yarmulke, a kippah. I wore my best shirt and washed my face extra clean. The smell of soup wrapped around me like a big hug from Mama. There was a tapping outside. Did we have a visitor? Mama looked up with a start, like Uncle Morty or Aunt Lena would come waltzing in. But it was just the sagebrush blowing against the window. I wonder if a sagebrush is kind of like a tumbleweed, just kind of blowing around and then banging up against the window. There they are buying things and Papa putting on his yarmulke. Before the sun set in the desert sky, Mama lit the candles. Papa blessed the wine and the challah. Shabbat shalom, Papa said, and kissed my head. Something didn't feel right. Too much soup, Mama said, not enough family. The wide open spaces were too big for Mama. I had an idea. Mama, next Shabbat, why don't you make a very small soup and a little bitty challah, just enough for us? I don't know how to make a small pot of soup, Mama said. See, it's a big pot of soup and only the three of them. The next week, I helped Papa plant cotton seeds. Mama made curtains for our windows. I practiced spelling words on a slate board. Mama said I could write a letter to Cousin Izzy. Blacksmith Ricardo gave our Clara, remember their horse Clara, new shoes. And on Friday night, Papa took off his hat and put on a yarmulke. I wore my best shirt and washed my face extra clean. The smell of soup wrapped around me like a big hug from Mama. This sounds like familiar from last Shabbat. There was a knocking noise at the door. Mama looked up with a start, like Cousin Shlomo or Aunt Goldie would come bouncing in. But it was just Clara, trying out her new shoes against the fence. There's Clara getting her new shoes. Before the sun set in the desert sky, Mama lit candles. Papa blessed the wine and the challah. Shabbat shalom, Papa said, and kissed my head. But something didn't feel right. Too much soup, Mama said, not enough family. Oh, Mama, I said, who needs a big family on Shabbat? Remember how Izzy made such a mess slurping his soup? Sweet Izzy, he loved my soup, Mama said. How about Cousin Shlomo always wanting seconds? I reminded her. Ah, Shlomo, Mama said, he loved my soup. Mama wiped her eyes. And Aunt Goldie, she asked for your recipe every week. Such a gem, Goldie. She loved my soup. Mama held her face in her hands. There was no talking Mama out of it. Too much soup. Not enough family. That's all their cousins they're remembering. I wonder if they need less soup. I lost my appetite. Maybe the wide open spaces were too big for me too. Sheriff Ryder stood outside the train station greeting travelers. Howdy, neighbor, he tipped his hat. Howdy, Sheriff, I tipped my hat. His shiny star-shaped badge looked like Mama's Jewish star necklace. Maybe we weren't the only Jewish family in town after all. I had an idea. Do you like chicken soup? I asked. You betcha. Soup's a hearty meal, he said. What do you think they're going to do? I wonder what they're going to do to make it feel like it's not so empty when they have their stuff, when they have Shabbat. Next, I hopped over to Blacksmith Ricardo's workshop. Do you like chicken soup? I do, little buckaroo, Blacksmith Ricardo said. I galloped to the general store. Do you like chicken soup? I asked Mr. and Mrs. O'Toole. We love chicken soup, they said. At the very same time, Mrs. O'Toole gave me a peppermint stick. It looks like Maybe he's running around inviting people. The wide open spaces weren't big enough to hold my excitement. I skipped the whole way home. On Friday night, Papa took off his hat, put on a yarmulke. I wore my best shirt and washed my face extra clean. The smell of soup wrapped around me like a big hug from Mama. There was a knock at the door. Mama didn't even look up. But it was a real knock. Not just sagebrush against the window or Clara trying out her new shoes. In walked Sheriff Ryder and his wife, Mrs. Ryder. "Howdy, neighbors," Sheriff Ryder tipped his hat. Mrs. Ryder handed Mama a basket of wildflowers. Next, Blacksmith Ricardo came bouncing in. "Hi there, little buckaroo," he said. Trailing behind Blacksmith Ricardo was a boy about my size. "This is my nephew, Miguel. He loves chicken soup, too." I gave Miguel the chair next to mine. Look at all these people coming over. Oh, that's wonderful. Maybe they're Jewish, maybe they're not Jewish, but it sounds like they're all going to have a very good time. Finally, Mr. and Mrs. O'Toole waltzed in with their 4 little freckled O'Toole children. "We love soup," they said at the very same time. Our little adobe house was filled to the brim, just like Mama's soup pot. Mama's smile was brighter than a cactus flower. Before the sun set in the desert sky, Mama lit the candles. Papa blessed the wine and the challah. Papa pulled off a big piece and passed it around for everyone to have a bite. I took 2 pieces and gave one to Miguel. "Shabbat shalom," Papa said, and kissed my head 2 times. "Shabbat shalom," said our guests. Mama filled bowl after bowl with hot chicken soup heaped with vegetables. Oh, they're all having a wonderful Shabbat dinner together. The end. Well, that was a fun Shabbat dinner, and there's nothing like that, coming together for Shabbat with friends and with family. And speaking of friends and family, it's time for us to sing goodbye to each other, to our friends and our family. Until we meet again, we say Shalom Chaverim, goodbye friends. Shalom Chaverim, Shalom Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom. Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye. Until we meet again. Until we meet again. Until we meet again. Goodbye. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you get to have a little bit of a Shabbat feel like we read in the book of friends and family, feeling as if they are one, even if it's over Zoom. Goodbye, everybody.